My gold-digging stepsister completely lost it during my grandmother's will reading and ended up humiliating herself in front of everyone. Miranda, my stepsister, is the kind of person who cried for 3 days straight because her $4,000 birthday ring wasn't expensive enough. She's only been part of our family for 3 years, ever since my dad remarried far too quickly after my mom passed away. From the start, Miranda tried to erase any trace of my mother. She even banned us from mentioning her name. She never got along with anyone in the family. My uncle banned her from his house after she picked a fight while drunk. Family gatherings were always tense because everyone tried to avoid her. But her feud with my grandmother was on another level. They absolutely hated each other. Once, at Christmas dinner, Miranda called my grandma a name in front of everyone just because she didn't compliment her dress. Despite all that, my dad never saw through her act. He thought I was just being jealous whenever I tried to warn him. But that changed when Grandma was diagnosed with terminal cancer 6 months ago. Suddenly, Miranda became the perfect stepdaughter. She'd call Grandma every day, bring her flowers and chocolates, and post dramatic messages online about cherishing loved ones. Everyone could tell she was acting, except my dad. The thing is, Grandma was very wealthy. She had properties, investments, and a massive inheritance. Miranda's fake sweetness was nothing more than a performance to get into the will. But Grandma wasn't fooled. Even in her final days, she saw right through Miranda's act and would just smile whenever I brought her up. When Grandma passed away last week, Miranda acted like the heartbroken granddaughter at the funeral, crying loudest and soaking up all the attention. Then came the will reading 3 days later. We all met at the lawyer's office. Miranda showed up in a dramatic all-black outfit with perfect makeup and expensive jewelry, clearly expecting a huge payout. As the lawyer read the will, my uncle got the cars, my aunt got some property, and I received a college trust fund plus Grandma's book collection. Miranda leaned forward eagerly, waiting for her turn. Then the lawyer said her name and read aloud. To Miranda, who spent 6 months pretending to care about a dying woman for money, I leave my collection of 1970s costume jewelry, valued at around $200. May she finally afford the tacky ring she's always crying about. The room went silent. Miranda's face went from pale to crimson in seconds. She stared around in disbelief, waiting for someone to say it was a joke. But no one did. My uncle was barely holding back laughter, my aunt covered her mouth, and my dad looked stunned. Then Miranda exploded. She screamed about how this was illegal, accused Grandma of being vindictive, and said she'd contest the will. She shoved past everyone, stormed out, and slammed the door so hard that a picture frame fell and shattered. As the echoes faded, the lawyer calmly closed the folder and said, "That went exactly as Mrs. Josephine predicted." Grandma had actually written that part of the will specifically for Miranda, knowing how she'd react. For the first time, my dad finally saw her for who she really was. He turned to me, eyes full of regret, and whispered, "I'm so sorry.